First of all, from the studying side of it, I'm in the business school as well. So in Leeds, I say my modules are very concise. There's not much flexibility. But in Hong Kong, I was at City University there, and it's just a business school. So you literally had about 200 modules to choose from. So I'm interested in marketing, and I could do modules like such as e-marketing and marketing in China, compared to just marketing, which I choose here. From the student point of view, student social life, there were 600 students on exchange in Hong Kong in my university, so there were loads of activities planned, and everyone's in the same boat, both like socially, the amount they want to study, and then when they want to go on holiday, whenever there's a break, there's always different groups of people linking up to do different holidays to whatever location you want. One of the main advantages, I'd say, was the travelling side of it. There's companies out there, airlines, that you can do flights for less than £100 return. I ended up going to Taiwan, China, Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore for the Grand Prix. So there's loads of places you can go to for relatively cheap prices, and there's always other people to go with you.
Accommodation?
The accommodation in student halls, it's you within a large hall with about 100 people in each building, and I'd say about 10 to 15% international exchange students. The price is really cheap in comparison to Hong Kong's general cost of living. I think it was less than £900 for the whole year, and an apartment in Hong Kong would probably cost about £800 for 1 month. So there's not really any opportunity to live in Hong Kong for a cheaper price. General cost of living can be done cheaply as well, because everyone's in the same boat. Majority of Hong Kong citizens go out to eat at night, so you can pick up a meal for like £2 and then out drinking on a socialising kind of night. You don't really spend much because you go to these little like supermarkets which are spotted all around the nightlife areas. So you rarely buy a drink in a club, everyone's just drinking out in the street. Any other pointers?
Did you have to share a room?
Oh yeah, that was one point which was different to England. Accommodation was all shared with a local student, or you can opt to share with another international student, but it's quite a good way to learn the culture, and they'll take you out to the local places to eat, their way of socialising, which is quite different to ours. I got involved in rugby, which is quite good out there. I played with my university and with the local team, which is another really good way to meet the locals, and then they take you to their restaurants and eat in the traditional ways. Anything else?
Anyone got any questions?
Yeah.
How about, did you have any language barriers? Did you learn language?
Tried. Cantonese is pretty complicated, but they did try and help us. Like they did a few preliminary crash courses at the beginning to get you the basics. Just like taxi drivers is the only place where you have the real barrier. Other than that, in shops, buying food, everything within the university is spoken in English. All the local students are encouraged to speak in English. Yeah, the language wasn't a hard point, but you can do modules in Mandarin, Cantonese as well, as your cultural modules. So yeah, it's a bit of a barrier, but you can come living with a local student as well. I think that helps. You can, if you're determined to learn, you can set time aside and try and learn with your local student to build up a bit of a set of a few frequent words. Has anybody got any general questions?
Did you have to work at all? Could you work on your visa?
Yeah, a few people did tutoring. Oh no, we're not meant to, but casual tutoring.
Cash in hand.
I think some people did it for organisations that our visa says you're not allowed to, but there are advertisements within the university, and people did it with local education bodies as well. So you can earn a bit that way as well.
So actually, here's where I introduce you most. most what he experienced in Hong Kong, and I just have a few points to add on. Is that I think I've been here for a month, and the biggest difference between what I could figure out is the way of study or the classes or module structure, because I usually have 3 hours of lecture a week for equivalent 10 credits module here. So it's much longer than what we did here. But then the professors there will give you a more comprehensive lectures instead of in here in England. Professors expect us to spend more time on private study or readings. So I think that's the main difference in between. And second thing that most international students would complain coming to Hong Kong is the sharing of rooms, because the land price in Hong Kong is really high. So I don't think there will be any single rooms in the university accommodation. So if you come to Hong Kong, you have to expect that you must have to share a room with other students in Hong Kong. But then the prices in Hong Kong is you don't need to worry about spending in Hong Kong because it's really cheap when compared to the UK. As what is just mentioned, people just usually eat out. Some people do eat out every night because the average meal is just £3 to £4 per meal, which you can get a really decent meal in town already. And people don't usually cook, I would say. And then Hong Kong is not a big place and with a very good transportation system, so everybody just we call it MTR, just something like underground or tube everywhere. And yeah, I think Hong Kong is an exciting place to visit. Yeah, see if you have any questions for me.
What do you think is the difference between the assessment in terms of...
Assessment?
Yeah.
We have many different types of assessment. I think in terms of assessment, it's pretty similar to that of the UK. We have group projects, we have exams, and then usually we don't do 100% exams. So in my university, it's a bit stressed sometimes because we got several tests and midterm exams before the final one comes. And we also have, we're quite stressed on projects. And one main difference between business courses is that actually all Hong Kong universities do based on the American system to do with business. For example, for accounting, we use the American ones instead of the UK standard. So this might be a little bit different if you are doing something a bit more professional in depth into accounting or finance. Yeah.
Yeah, with the modules which I picked, because there's so much flexibility at City University, in the second semester I ended up doing all coursework modules. So all my 5 modules were all based on group projects, so there's no final exam at the end. So I kind of knew what stage I was up to throughout the year. And I definitely improved my presentations because I think about 80% of the modules which I took probably included a presentation. It's good for your group work as well, and it's good for future when you're applying for jobs, when you have to go through the group work assessment centres, all the presentations. It certainly helps, and the amount of feedback you get. Everyone's got better presentation skills, or at least everyone's definitely improved throughout the period that I was there.
In terms of meeting new people, did you struggle, or this sort
No, with the exchange students, there were so many organised activities. Within the first week, I think there were nights out drinking on roof terraces, or just meeting everyone in certain locations in the town centre, and it was put on the group of 600 people, and possibly 200 people would end up going. And then there were society activities like inter-hall football. I'd say I've got more involved in stuff in Hong Kong than I did in Leeds, because everyone's in the same boat, everyone's wanting to meet as many people as possible. So in Leeds I didn't really get involved in any of the inter-hall activities, but then over in Hong Kong everyone's just wanting to do as much as possible. And then the trips as well, that brings everyone together. There's always choices about where you want to go with who.
I think our mother tongue is Cantonese, so most locals would just speak Cantonese all the time, which international students might find it a bit hard to get in touch with some local Hong Kong people. But then, as I think 100% of the students could speak fairly good English, so if you really try to get in touch with us, and then we're very willing to talk to you and to to introduce you like some exciting things to do in Hong Kong. Yeah.
Will
So-
you be going back there in next year as well?
Yeah.
So you might even be there.
Show our students around.
Sure. I think some of the local students even, they like to speak to the English people because they want to learn the language more.
Yes,
More so
definitely.
as well.
Yeah.
Your roommates especially. You try and learn Cantonese of them and they try and pick up the little slang words especially they like to show.
Because I think most Hong Kong people are very willing to accept different cultures, and we do learn English from like very young age, from kindergarten. So most of us could like really speak fluent English, and I think most Hong Kong students do welcome international people a lot. So like communication or like meeting new friends won't be a problem at all.
In terms of location, because obviously there's two different universities. Obviously you went to City University in Timothy Europe, Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Like whereabouts? Are they good locations? in
City
Hong Kong?
University is the best one in Hong Kong, I'd say.
The location.
Yeah, because City University is really in central, in the middle of Hong Kong, and my university a bit far in the east side, and my university don't have a underground subway system for that, so you need to take a bus to that. But I think bus system in Hong Kong is really good. It comes in like less than 10 minutes, so and it's really cheap. I think each journey is around 50p, so it won't be a problem at all. But in terms of convenience, City University is much better.
We've also got another link with Hong Kong Polytechnic University, and I think that's quite central
Yeah, that's,
as well.
It's quite close.
Yeah, it's even closer than City U.
Right, yeah.
They're both on the metro system, and with a student card it's cheap. It's cheap already, and then you get 50% off with the student, so you don't really spend anything on transport.
What about ranking, like in terms of universities?
I think the City University is not the best generally,
It's better than us.
but
Yeah, seriously. We're at 97, I think they're at like 94 or something.
you sure that's not like recent universities?
I would say if in terms of
It's the top three, yeah.
the universities here,
The three universities, City, Hong Kong, Polytechnic, are all ranked really highly. I think they're actually all ranked higher than Leeds.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think City University. Well, yeah.
I went to the Times one. The Times ranking, I think my university is #1 in Asia,
Yeah.
and I think it's around 50 something in the world last year. Yes, something like that.
From a business point of view as well, it's
Yeah.
a lot better than Leeds, I'd say, from that point of view. I just thought of the general university.
Have you, I don't know if you've applied for any jobs, but how do people respond to you studying abroad?
I think it definitely has helped, because before I went away, the summer before I left Hong Kong, I applied for work experience, and you sent out a covering letter and a CV, and then in the email I just put like, I'm applying for work experience. And I did the exact same this year when I was in Hong Kong, and just put I'm currently in Hong Kong, I'm coming back soon. I've attached my covering letter and CV. And I think I got a lot more respondents. I think it just separated me and just made them a bit more interested. And then I did get work experience, and that, one of the most interesting things the director was saying was like, just come down and hear about what you're doing and write a blog about Hong Kong. So I think it definitely will. I've not had any graduate jobs applications yet, but I'm sure it will separate you if you've got year abroad experience.
Any other questions? Okay.
Alistair, I'm going to make you stay there because you stupidly mentioned you went to Taiwan, and we're going to talk about that next. We have got an exchange student, but also it'd be nice to hear about it from a tourist point of view as well.
Singapore as well.
Sorry.
I only went briefly to Taiwan for like a long weekend, but I'd say it's more, it kind of feels like possibly what Hong Kong might have been like 20 years ago. Not as like busy. Everyone always talks about the food. The food's amazing. Obviously I don't know what it's going to be like to live there, because I think if I'd passed through Hong Kong for a long weekend, I'd have a very different view to what I've got now after living there. But yeah, I'd imagine you'd have good fun there.
I had a question about general sort of living in Hong Kong and Taiwan.
Yeah.
Like, so if you took your phone there with you, what are phone rates over there? Things like
I just ended up getting a cheap pay-as-you-go SIM card.
yeah.
So it ended up being cheaper. Cheaper
Worked
than,
out.
yeah.
Did you end up using your phone quite a lot in Hong Kong, or was it just?
Yeah, with yeah you do, because you just get a local SIM card,
Yeah.
and then you're just on a local network, no international calls, it's only within
And
Hong Kong.
like, in your view, like getting a contract is not as well.
Some people did, probably more majority of people just got local pay-to-go phones.
Yeah.
Then if probably about 40% of people would have got paid monthly, and then who wanted like the internet. Because it's so developed, it's like wireless everywhere. So if you just got a basic phone,
Yeah.
then you even get wireless on like the metro system.
Oh,
Some people just, if you had like an iPhone, you just get on the wireless.
A lot of people tend to download WhatsApp and Viber. So Viber, you can make phone calls abroad, and it's just completely wireless and free. So it's a really good way to call home. Obviously, you've got Skype on your laptops as well, but
Yeah, I think Sky makes the contact, keeping in touch with people at home a lot easier. I thought about coming home at one point, but most people just stay out there.
Everybody, I'm from Taiwan. I'm from the National Taiwan University, and I'm an exchange student here for a semester. And what I'm going to talk about.
tell us about the course.
The
the
course.
academics, yeah.
Well, most of our courses are taught in Mandarin, but we offer some like English taught courses as well. And I think our courses are more similar to the ones in Hong Kong. We don't do a lot of seminars, but we have case studies and projects, group projects as well. But we discuss them in our private hours. The professor would prefer you to do it out of the lecture times, because in here, which is really new for me, is to prepare for the seminars, for the readings. But in Taiwan, we do it in our private hours instead of having seminars, because we have a lot of group presentations as well, in business school, we had you do case studies nearly every week, so it's quite tiring if you're taking on higher level courses. But in the A-level courses, it will be simpler. And for example, the accounting thing, we already follow the IFRS system instead of the GAAP one, so I think this won't be a problem for British students because it's in a European standard. Yeah.
What about accommodation?
Well, the accommodation, I live at home, so I don't have this kind of problem. So, but in Taiwan, we ride bicycles a lot. In NTU, if you don't have a bicycle, you won't need to walk from department to department. It'll be take from 20 minutes, because our campus is quite huge. Our government once calculated that our campus occupies 1% of our total territory. We had a forest in other places as well, but our campus is really big, so you need to ride a bicycle. And the accommodation is we will offer special accommodation for exchange students, as I heard that. The accommodation is different from the locals, and we call it it's called the BOTs. It's run by Downing, and Central Village is run by Downing and by the school, and they have shared rooms as well. Do 2 people share a room, or you can have your own room, and you can even have a studio. There's a really huge place for you to choose on, depending on how much you want to pay. Yeah. So, and actually, we don't really offer catered residence, because it's really cheap. It's even cheaper than Hong Kong actually. Hong Kong, you said that you need to pay £3 to £4, but in Taiwan you only pay. You can have only £1. You can have a pretty good lunchbox, and above £4 is you can have a really fancy dinner already. Because here you need to a 2-course meal 8 or 9. In Taiwan you can eat in a really good buffet or something. So it's quite different. Yeah. So local students found, but the food is definitely great. It's really good. And we have and the one thing is that it's different from here is that our stores, our department stores or our restaurants, they open until 9. All the stores that they must open until 9 o'clock. They can't open at 6 till 6 because nobody will come. Our markets run until 2 a.m. in the morning. So it's not a really big problem to live in Taiwan if you are starting in the midnight. You can just go out for or like walk like 100 meters and can get something to eat. And we have convenience stores all over, like the Tesco Expresses, Stansbury Locals, like these kind of things. They are everywhere. Like you can find one in the opposite up street, and you can find one next to you. Like it's really close, and we offer like those microwave food that is, I think it's much better than Tesco's. It's much better than Tesco's. It's really good. It's really good. And we have other food as well, all kinds of food. We have Japanese food, Korean food, Cantonese food, like English food, American food, yeah, everything. And it's really fair price. And you want to have a day out, you want to have a night out, it's really convenient as well because we have the underground system as well, and it goes everywhere. And you can have clubs. We all have them in Taiwan as well, and it's cheaper. It's cheaper. So, and the drinks are cheaper as well. So, yeah, and it's really nice to live in Taiwan. But the language, we learn English. We also learn English when we're in primary school, but our English is not as good as Hong Kong people is. Well, most like, but I think that's not a problem because the most beautiful thing in Taiwan is, because we have beautiful sceneries, but the most beautiful thing in Taiwan is not about the sceneries or those like sightseeing places, but the people. The people is really nice. And even if you don't know where you're going, they will try to figure out what you want, like through your facial expressions, your hand gestures. so it's not really a big problem in Taiwan. But most of the people, they speak like basic English, of course, like taxi drivers. They will speak some, but they will have a really strong Taiwanese accent, so you need to like pay a lot of attention to what they're talking about. But it's pretty good. It's really good to live in Taiwan.
So you said the campus is very big. Is it in the city?
It's in the city. It's in the city center actually. And we have a tube system, tube station, right? We have like 2 tube stations in both sides of the campus, so it's not really hard to get around. And we have buses going to everywhere. And our buses, well, like it's different from these, that the bus never tells which station you go to stop, but in Taiwan that they will tell you which station, and you have even have English ones. It will speak English on the bus to say which station is next stop, so it won't be really hard for you to like get out, hop off, because it needs some time. Like I took the bus, and the bus driver never speaks anything, and I just do, and I need to like figure out where I'm going. So in Taiwan it's not a big problem. And the bus ticket is really cheap. It's like 20 pence per ride, and it's really cheap.
The money goes very far on each.
10 pence a week, 10 pence per town. Any problems? Any questions?
Yeah. You said you cycled around there, so
yeah.
Well, where did you get your bike from?
You can get second-hand bikes, and you can get new ones. And the new ones cost like £30. You want to get one?
Yeah, I saw there's a presentation that they do for new exchange students, and like one of the first things on one of the slides was like how to get your own bicycle.
Yeah.
Seriously, £3.
£30, and don't rent it.
Don't rent it, just
buy one. And a second-hand one is like £10. You can get a second-hand one, but you need to fix it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and so you can go to bike. There are several bike shops beside the campus. Yeah, it's amazing. So, one really interesting in Taiwan is that in our university, everybody can do something special on the bike, because we are living on the bike, so we can like hold an umbrella and talk on the cell phone without bike riding. So like it's really interesting. Yeah. So.
Hi, my name is Eugene. I'm from South Korea. I'm an exchange student from Korea University for a year.
Tell us about studies.
Studies. I think studying in Korea is much more similar with Hong Kong or Taiwan. Most classes are lectures. There is no specific time for seminars. And there are some lectures taught in English, so you can take English courses as well. Also there are the group presentations.
Do you study business
Yeah.
in Korea? Okay, sure. And is there like business and economics, finance?
In Korea University, business and economics are separate.
Separate, yeah.
Yes, so there is business school,
Yeah.
and economics is belong to Department of Economics.
Yeah. You'll find that a lot of the time in other universities. They are in separate things, but you can still do them even if they are in different departments.
What about accommodation?
You can live in school accommodation. With there are 2 accommodations for especially international students, and also several accommodations for Korean students, but you can share with them. And also there are a lot of places near campus we can live. Yeah.
Do you share rooms?
Maybe you have one roommate. Yeah. So, I don't know the exact price.
That's okay. We won't expect you to know that. And then, I mean, in terms of ranking, it is a really highly ranked university. I think it's top 20 in Asia, and Korea University, I think.
I don't know exact in Asia, but
Yeah,
Korea University is top 3 universities in Korea.
nice.
Yeah. Their top 3 we call it SKY, because S is for Seoul National University, which is the top in Korea, and K is for Korea University, and Y is another university, and Yonsei University. And there is sports competition between Yonsei and Korea University. I think you can enjoy it because we are always competing for 2nd place in Korea. This is very fun festival in Korea University.
What's the city like?
City. Seoul is one of the biggest biggest cities in the world. Yeah, it's quite big. You can find convenient transportation system. Yeah. You can go everywhere in Seoul by bus or subway. Yeah. And it's only price less than £1.
Is the university in the city?
Yeah. But there are a lot of places we can call it city center. So
There are lots of places to. Do you eat out, or do you eat at restaurants, or do you normally cook at home, or?
we usually eat out,
Yeah.
or you can cook. And there is school cafeteria such as refectory. Yeah. And if you want to go out for it, the price is £3. Yeah. Near campus, most food is quite cheaper than other places. Yeah.
Student prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone got any questions?